Hey everybody, welcome to another game of War Machine. Lightem'up here. I got a game between my buddies Retribution, going with the Vyros 2 against my Zaadesh 2 list. Sorry for no caster photo on Zaadesh 2. I couldn't find a good photo on him of him online, and I didn't have him handily available for me to take a photo of him. But so Zaadesh 2 going up against Vyros 2. My buddy's bringing up Vyros list with a bunch of jacks. He's got Imperatus, 2 Griffons, an Aspis, Discordia, and a Sphinx. He's trying out Dahlia and Skarath in his list for the first time. So he's playing her for the first time in Retribution. And then he's got 3 Arcanists in there to round things out because, honestly, why wouldn't you take 3 Arcanists? It's Retribution and they're essentially free. But he's got a good list here, a lot of heavy hitters. A couple spray 10s, which are pretty good, so those will mulch infantry pretty well. And then, speaking of infantry, my Zaadesh 2 list actually does have a little bit of infantry in it. We've got a max unit of Nihilators, a min unit of Karax. Then Zaadesh's battle group looks like an Agonizer, Tiberion, an Aradus Soldier, a Titan Sentry, and a Titan Gladiator. Personally, I have been playing Zaadesh 2 for about 2 weeks now. I've loved him. I think he is a fantastic caster. I hope they don't change a thing on his card. For the most part, I don't think there's anything I would change about him. Currently, he has got a lot of power into range games. Obviously, he personally is invulnerable, essentially, to range attacks. He does, therefore, bring models that tend to be invulnerable to range attacks, so I think he likes having a lot of bugs. He likes having sentries for the shields, Tiberion for the shield, obviously. And then Invulnerable Resolve is just such a powerful ability to give +2 armor to anything you want and make it invulnerable to pushes is pretty good. It's a great spell, honestly. I thought about running Zaadesh 2 with Satrati, and I still might try that out with the Satrati and Vorkesh. They put Invulnerable Resolve on them, and it can't be Hex Blasted off or Repudiated off because of Spell Ward from Zaadesh, or Sacred Ward. But this current Zaadesh 2 list is a lot of beef, and it is just beef, 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 right up the center, hey diddle diddle, here we go. Right up the middle, hey diddle diddle. So, on to the battle report. Alright, so on the battle report, my opponent won the roll to go first and chose that, or I chose this side because I wanted the hill. The little green spots around the edges are forests, as I put up in the thing, and then the thing in the middle there is we were playing it as rubble, so I wanted him to have that forest to have to deal with, the large forest on the bottom part of the screen there to protect my zone, and then obviously getting a wall in my zone is really nice. And then if necessary, I do have that the hill on the back side there. He deployed his jacks pretty heavily, focusing on my side of the zones, or my zone. So in response, I deployed my jacks, or my beasts, opposite his jacks. It's going to be a big fight in the zone, it looks like, in the southern zone, so we'll see how that goes. My opponent's first turn is, pretty straightforward. It's just Vyros 2, so he's putting up synergy, and he's sending up all of his jacks. He sends 5 of his battle group jacks towards my zone. Skarath and Dahlia up there, she puts up her Haunting Melody spell, and the other Griffon at the top runs to contest his zone, make sure he has something up in his zone to keep that in contestant range. On my side of the board, I'm going to be sending the Nihilators towards his zone with the help that they can kill the objective and take out the jack, maybe deal with Dahlia or at least Skarath, and keep them tied up. So I never played against Dahlia really, and I did not know how strong she was. Oh my god, is she strong. Other than that, I do put up Battle Charged. Obviously the Agonizer's Animus goes, or Fury, what is it? His Agony goes down for the -2 strength to enemy models. And then I have Invulnerable Resolve up on my Titan Sentry. Up on my Aradus Soldier at this point. So making him an armor 21 against melee attacks and armor 25 against range attacks, which is pretty nice. I do intentionally put the soldier up there within charge range of some of his jacks with the hope of being able to charge Tiberion and or the Sentry, potentially the Gladiator, up to take out whatever he sends in to attack the bug. The good thing about a counter-charging Tibbers is he has crit smite, so if he gets that crit, he will just smite the guy away from whoever he charged, which is just fantastic. Right now you'll see me charging my Gladiator. That was pre-thought out. I didn't put it up there on accident. I know it's in charge range of his beast, or of his jacks, and I don't really care. The goal here is to bait out Imperatus, which, as you see right there, Imperatus comes in. He's only got +1 synergy because the only thing that activated prior to him that hit a model in melee was the Griffon. So Imperatus goes up with +1 synergy and fails to kill the Gladiator. Leaves him about half boxes. That was thanks to the aura from my Agonizer. He was just barely in my Agonizer aura. So the bug is a little damaged because of the Griffon. Imperatus did about half of the Gladiator's boxes, which is not too bad. And then the Sphinx there is going to move up to attempt to protect Imperatus. With the Aspis coming up there to be annoying and try to keep me from being able to get models into Imperatus. Up there at the top, the northern zone, the other Griffon goes up and starts attacking my Nihilators, kills quite a few of them. Dahlia and Skarath will go again, and she'll put up the Pathfinder spell, and the Haunting Melody spell, I think, was upkept. So Skarath can walk with his Pathfinder now and get into the rubble and just start taking his spray attacks, killing off more of my Nihilators. And he manages to kill quite a few of them. You see a couple of them get knocked down. I think at the end of this turn, I believe I'm left with 4 guys, 4 Nihilators. Alright, so on to my turn. Zaadesh, this is obviously going to be a feat turn for Zaadesh. I've got a lot of beef in my face, and I've got a lot of my beef ready to go. Honestly, I don't think I could have had his turn turn out any better for me. It was really good. He was unable to kill any of my beasts, and he gave me what I wanted to get, all of his heavy hitters for the most part. So Zaadesh goes ahead and he pops his feet and charges the Griffon on his own. Mat 11 Weapon Master is pretty nice at power 14. So he gets in there, does quite a bit of work onto the Griffon on his own, and puts up Battle Charged again. So I will preface, I played this game thinking Battle Charge was, I did not know Battle Charge was an upkeep, so I was paying 2 focus every turn to do Battle Charge every turn. So that was incorrect, but whatever. The Titan Gladiator there, he moved over and just barely got line of sight and range to Tibbers to get rush on him. And then with just his initials was able to kill off the Griffon. Tibbers charges in without the Beast Handlers in rage and manages to, on his second to last attack, there's the crit smite. He gets a crit smite onto the Sphinx, which knocks over Discordia and kills off the Sphinx, which is nice. Leaves him with a Fury spot open, which is good for me. Beast Handlers are going to move up, and 2 of them are going to heal the bug, keep that healing train going, and then one's going to remove a Fury from the Titan, and the other one is going to enrage my bug, because power and strength 22 is really nice. So then the Aradus Sentinel, he becomes that, the Soldier, sorry, he becomes that second proxy base there, right underneath Imperatus' right, left sword, and he goes up and he starts wrecking on Imperatus. We do have a little bit of a discussion here. You see the 2 of us are talking a bit about how Phoenix Protocol works. Phoenix Protocol, for anyone that's new to Ret or hasn't played against Ret, it says you can use it either in your maintenance phase or when disabled. That's not a either or. That is a you either use it when he is disabled or you don't get it. Or if he is not disabled, you can use it during your maintenance phase. Because if you don't use him when he gets disabled, he gets destroyed and removed from play. So, or destroyed and boxed and destroyed. So, but the Soldier was able to take out the Phoenix Protocol Imperatus, and then with 2 bot attacks, did not finish off the Aspis. Okay, yeah, he did finish off the Aspis. All right. After that, Most of the Nihilators will end up being in my feet. I think one of them ends up not being in my feet. So they all, the ones that can, get charges into the Griffon up there. And then the brave single wound shield wall unit Karax goes ahead and gets a run charge order, press forward order, and a couple of them charge into the Griffon to finish him off. And a couple go up to jam up Skarath. And that's the end of my feat. So no points scored this turn, but a pretty good feat turn. I got 3 or 4 of his jacks off the board. He's left with just 1 jack and Skarath. Although Skarath is a pretty hardy war beast, and Dahlia is a pain in the butt to remove. We'll talk about that later, I think, maybe, if I remember. If I don't, let me know in the comments. So, on to his turn. Turn 3, or sorry, 3A. Skarath moves up, and between him and he takes a couple of bites to kill off the Karax that were there. Vyros goes over and attempts to do a lock the target into the Gladiator, but fails. Does end up shooting, I believe, a Beast Handler off the board with his gun, and then shoots into Tiberion just to do a couple points of damage to him. Repositions into the forest just to get away from Tiberion a little bit more, I guess. Discordia goes up, and she has that juicy pod of single wound infantry up there. She's going to go and use her spray 10 and wipe out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All 6 of them with 1 10-inch spray. That was pretty good. He does run Sylys up to be suicidal to engage my beasts. And then it is on to my turn. So, I obviously am not, I was camping on my turn, so I had way too much fear on the board. Not a problem, I don't mind frenzy checks. End up that all my beasts take frenzy checks. Only the Gladiator freaks out and frenzies. All my other guys are good. 1 point left on each of them except for Tiberion. Tiberion has 2 points left on him. Skorne beasts for the most part have pretty high thresholds, so I don't worry about running hot usually. It's not really that big of a deal. It just means you gotta plan your turn out and probably use your Beast Handlers first on that next turn. So on this turn, Beast Handlers go up first and take 2 off of Tiberion so that he can be full, and one of them enrages the bug so that he can be at higher power strength. The bug goes up, kills off Sylys to free up Tiberion, and then does quite a bit of damage into Discordia, but does not kill her. The Sentry moves up, and instead of trying to kill Discordia, just goes up and puts up his Animus. And then Zaadesh moves over, puts a rush on Tiberion, and camps in the zone. So Tiberion charges in, charges with his powerful power 18, because he did not get enraged, Tetsubo, and does 4 points of damage. Not even through a focus point, just does 4 points of damage. Okay, and then after all 4 of his fury is used up, he ends up doing a total of 7 points of damage to Vyros, which was quite underwhelming. Yeah. Mat 7 is painful. That's why that feat turn is so good, being Mat 9. But, not to worry. It's a pretty game. This game is pretty much in hand. I'd have to mess up pretty bad at this point. I made sure to keep quite a few beasts around me. I've got the Sentinel is just barely within 3, I believe, so he can't spray me. I've got the Gladiator right there. I've got 3 or 4 transfers on me. I'm definitely going to be running hot next turn because I've got about 10 fear on the board and only space for 3 or 4 of them. But his turn over here, he just goes and he wails and wails and wails on that soldier with Discordia, and Discordia manages to take out the soldier even with a bad arm. So good on him, I guess. And then Skarath is going to activate, and you'll see, or sorry, Dahlia is going to activate. Dahlia goes in and she blocks in Tiberion. And then, what is, I believe Vyros is going to go next. Yep, so Vyros walks over next, attempts to do a lock the target onto my Sentry, which fails. Shoots off the last Nihilator up there. Shoots off a Beast Handler, and then repositions to get away from Tiberion even further. Here comes the think that was the lock the target. Yeah, and then there's a reposition. So, Skarath is going to go next, and he's going to use his spray 10 to try to spray Zaadesh and get some of my support. He knows that I have sack pawn, so I mean it's just going to be sack pawn onto the Gladiator, so the Gladiator will get hit twice. But it doesn't really bother me. The Gladiator's got plenty of hit points to take it. He leaves 2 points on the Agonizer with that, which is kind of sad for him, but doesn't really matter too much. On my turn, I take back a couple points of focus or fury off of Tiberion, leaving him with 1 fury point on him, and then let my Agonizer frenzy. He frenzies into me and misses, so not a big deal. The Gladiator goes up and manages to kill off Discordia. And then the Beast Handlers are going to walk up and they're going to go and take a focus point off of Tibbers, enrage the Sentry. Tiberion will trample over to Vyros 2 and still once again fail to kill him. Using all 4 of my Fury, he leaves him with 3 hit points left. And then the Sentry is going to go in charge, and the Sentry is going to show Tibbers, show him how it's done, and put him into the dirt. Alright, so this will be a Skorne victory. So victory to Skorne. I said I'd talk about Dahlia, so let me talk about Dahlia for a little bit. Her Haunting Melody spell, let me get it out and read it. It is a ball buster, honestly. That spell basically means that you cannot attack her at all. So while in the spellcaster's control range, living enemy models cannot give or receive orders and cannot make melee or range attack targeting this model. Which means if you're playing a Horde's army, you basically cannot attack her unless you have a way to make some of your stuff undead. That's pretty sick. That's a pretty ball-busting ability. Her and Skarath, I think, is pretty strong. I would love to have them in Cygnar or in Skorne. I mean, if they come up and... I don't see why Skorne can't enslave them either. But anyway, it was a great game. My opponent is one of my regulars. If you guys see a lot of our battle reports, he usually kicks my butt, so I don't mind beating him. This Zaadesh 2 list is one that I've currently scrapped, actually. I've taken all the infantry out except for the beast handlers, and I've just added more beasts. I think I put in like 3 Cyclopses, and I reduced one of my reduced Tiberion into a Sentry, and put in a Skarath pack. So, and then the Skarath pack can be flipped out because it's actually 1 point short. Can be flipped out for a max unit of Karax if I want. I think Zaadesh doesn't really need infantry, but if you want to put infantry with him, it's not a bad idea. He can pretty much run whatever you want. Not a lot, and Skorne doesn't like having +2 mat strength and defensive strike. I think Blood Runners with him are pretty cool because of anatomical precision, but on the other token, you could also just give Beast Handlers, will be mat 7 with anatomical precision, and they're a lot cheaper. So Zaadesh 2, going great. Looking forward to the errata coming up here in a few weeks, probably, hopefully like a month or so. And as a last note, if anyone is going to be going to the LVO, I will see you there. LVO Las Vegas Open 2017, right? All right, I will be there. I just bought my tickets like a couple days ago. So, hope to see you guys there. It's apparently a fantastic time. And I will catch you guys later. Hope to see you all next week. Please like, comment, and subscribe.